Now that we are a bit over a quarter of the way through this season, we are now going into one of the most important series of the season against the reigning champions and team that knocked us out, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Let me ask the question, are the Yankees the best team in Major League Baseball in 2025? What's going on, guys? It's King of 161st. I'm back with another video, and this video is going to be about going over what's gone well for the Yankees, what they need to work on, and how we stack up against other teams in the league, and more specifically, the team that knocked us out last year, the consensus #1 team, the Los Angeles Dodgers. So without further ado, let's get right into it, and let's start off in the starting rotation. This has been a stunning revelation for the New York Yankees. I don't think anyone, after Garrett Cole went down, after Luis Gil went down, when Marcus Stroman was starting games and he went down, I don't think anyone past that point thought the Yankees were going to be this good on the pitching department. But so far this season, we have gotten stellar starting pitching, and it all starts at the top. Max Fried is a stud. Below 2 ERA, shutting every team he faces down. We already talked about Max Fried a ton in my last video, so go check that out. To me, Max Fried is the Cy Young. The way he has been able to command the zone, the way he's been able to mix his pitches well, he's able to not only use that curveball effectively, but he's able to use his off-speed pitches along with his fastball to perfection. The tunneling has been awesome. The real example of how Max Fried has been this year is his at-bat against Juan Soto. Pitches, all of them tunneling after each other, all of them making Juan Soto do a shuffle of his own to get out of the way, only to land right in the middle of the zone. That, to me, outside of the obvious character in there, that was probably the best at-bat I've seen for Max Fried, and is the prime example of how he is bringing all his pitches together to work together and create an amazing start. That's what Max Fried has done this year. He has been such a rock at the top of this rotation. I don't think the Yankees are where they are this year without the likes of Carlos Rodon. Carlos Rodon just pitched the other day, another stellar performance, putting up 7 innings of shutout ball against the Angels, a team that at one point in time before this 5-game losing streak had an 8-game winning streak. Their offense was doing ridiculously well, and Carlos Rodon goes in there and shuts them down. This year, Carlos Rodon has found the pitch mix. He has finally figured out how to get away from overusing the fastball. Adding the changeup has been huge, adding just a different element for the hitter to actually think about. They bring this up on the broadcast a lot. Over the last couple years, it was kind of easy to read Carlos Rodon. If it's low, it's a slider. If it's high, it's a fastball. Try and get that fastball, get ahead of it, and hit it out. And that's why Carlos Rodon gives up a lot of home runs, is when he does have that predictability, it's easy for a hitter to read and get his bat head out to that fastball, barrel it up, and get it into the seat. But adding this changeup has added such a different element, and I think part of the reason he has been doing so well is that changeup is providing a lot more strikeout stuff. When he's able to get hitters to think he's predictable and then drop in that changeup, it's a game changer. Again, I don't think the Yankees are where they are this year, even with Max Fried doing what he's doing, without Carlos Rodon being another rock in this rotation. After a couple rough starts early on, he's finally figured out exactly what he needs to do to succeed, and he is doing it to perfection. He has become one of the best #2 starters in baseball, and when Garrett Cole is back next year, he's probably going to be the best #3 in baseball. The Mariners may have something to say about that. A healthy Dodgers team may have something to say about that. Carlos Rodon is pitching the way he's pitching right now. He is living up to that contract, and that contract is meant for a #1 or #2 at best, and he will be the #3 come next year. Carlos Rodon has been such a revelation for this team to give the Yankees a ton of stability, something they have been lacking all year. But after those top two, in terms of name value, you get a little bit of a drop-off, but you're not getting much of a production drop-off. In the number 3, I have Will Warren, who, yes, his numbers will not stand out. It doesn't look too pretty when you see the 4 ERA. But when you see the strikeout numbers, that he has over 11 strikeouts per 9, that is why he is number 3. He is finally figuring out how to use that breaking ball effectively. I've talked about this numerous times. Will Warren's biggest mistake the last year was he had such great break on his pitches, but they always ended up in the middle of the plate, making it easy for a hitter to read, okay, this is coming in slower, I have to just sit back, it'll end up in my spot. He's locating that pitch perfectly now, and he's able to use it along with his fastball to fool hitters, and now has some of the best strikeout stuff in all of baseball. Now this year, he has a little bit of an extra issue where he's not attacking hitters the way he should. And that is a problem, don't get me wrong. He's gotten better over time with that. And also, I believe with more experience, that sort of confidence will continue to rise. I need that confidence to get in there because he has the talent. It's all about the mental now of getting him more consistent in terms of, okay, I'm 0-2. Yeah, maybe I can waste 1, but I don't have to throw every 0-2 pitch in the dirt. I can trust my stuff from time to time and throw him a fastball up and in. I can trust my stuff and try and paint the outside corner rather than dirt a pitch. That's the next step in Will Warren's development. In terms of number 3s in baseball right now, someone with that type of strikeout stuff is perfect for that spot. Now you look at the number 4 currently, and that is Clark Schmidt. Coming back from injury, he hasn't looked amazing. At least last night, he was able to prove he still has that stuff in there. Now, when Luis Heel comes back, they have some decisions to make, and I'll talk about who number 5 is in a minute, but between number 4 and number 5, they're going to have to make a decision of which one of them moves to the bullpen and which one stays in the rotation as the 5. And even with the performance Clark Schmidt gave out yesterday, I need more consistency out of Clark Schmidt in order for him to officially earn that spot. Because a guy like Ryan Yarbrough, who is the 5th starter, that's the type of performance that could earn you a starting job. Now, the reason why I think Yarbrough will be the decision to go back to the bullpen is because he's naturally a reliever. Yankees try and keep him away from 90 pitches. He can't really get above 90 miles an hour, but he just knows how to locate perfectly. He has that weird sidearm angle that really confuses hitters. He really looks like the Tim Hill from last year. And even though Tim Hill this year has taken a tiny step back from what he was at the second half of last season, Ryan Yarbrough is taking that spot up. Yarbrough will be important come postseason time out of the bullpen. I don't think there's a chance he starts a postseason game, but out of the bullpen, when a guy like Luis has a short start, he can come in and give you bulk innings of awesome production. That's where I think Ryan Yarbrough serves himself best. If Clark Schmidt can't be consistent and Ryan Yarbrough can keep this up, he may leave the Yankees no choice but to keep him in that rotation, then move him to the bullpen at a later date come postseason time. But overall, the starting rotation has been unreal to start off. Hopefully that can continue, but even up to this point, I think they've even overachieved what we thought. Now, if you look at the bullpen, there's really only one bad apple in this bullpen, and that's how Devin Williams started. But if that's the worst you get is a bad April of Devin Williams, and I know he gave up the 2 runs against the Angels, almost blew that game. Thank you, Oswald Peraza, for getting that home run. But if that's the weak point of your bullpen, is a guy who's now had 8 of 11 outings with 0 runs scored, that's your weakest link. That's the mark of a great bullpen. Luke Weaver has done a tremendous job maintaining that closer spot and sort of providing stability there while Devin Williams is working out his kink. And now Devin Williams and Luke Weaver have created a 1-2 punch that can rival any bullpen in baseball. Even Cleveland, now that Emmanuel Clase has also been on a bit of a downturn. The Yankees pitching staff as a whole, I think, has been one of the best units in baseball. I wouldn't say they're number one by any means, but top 5 is possible. Top 10, definitely. But that pitching staff is the main reason why this team is where they are. Because we knew this offense was going to be as great as they are. But they've been even better than expectations. The better than expectations all comes back to the free agency signings that they made this offseason. Cody Bellinger, and the main topic here, Paul Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt was an old, possible close to retiring first baseman that the Yankees took a flyer on. The best way I heard it described is they basically, instead of signing someone in free agency, took a waiver wire on someone. Because Paul Goldschmidt last season was awful in the first half. His first half of 2024 was dreadful. He picked it up a little bit come second half, and it gave you some hope that there's something left. Now, is Paul Goldschmidt the fastest guy in the world? Is he going to give you athleticism all over the place? No, but he's sneaky athletic to the point where he has a few stolen bases already. But even with his age, the main issue and the main concern of the signing was, can he still catch up to Major League fastball? He has done even more than that. This man is a top 3 batting title favorite at this point, has over a 350, is able to still slug with the best of them. He has a 900 OPS. This is 1,000 times better than anything the Yankees could have asked for from Paul Goldschmidt, especially after having Anthony Rizzo post-concussion, where yes, pre-concussion, Anthony Rizzo was able to use that short porch. He was able to provide some good defense. He was able to be somewhat consistent in terms of bat to ball. He was a good player. Paul Goldschmidt has done all of that times 5. And yes, it's only a 1-year deal. So maybe this is the only time the Yankees are going to see this, and might be the squeezing the last bit of toothpaste out of the bottle. But this last bit is some of the best that he's produced. Maybe not in the power department in terms of home run. That hasn't been there quite yet. His barrel percentage is still down, but man, can this guy hit. His bat to ball is awesome, and he has been the main catalyst of keeping this Yankees team afloat. Cody Bellinger in May has been the same exact way. Going from being a guy to be traded in a salary dump for Cody Poteet, who I don't think is even a part of the Cubs organization anymore, now turning into one of the most important cogs in this machine, is a huge revelation for the Yankees, especially with the fact that he is protecting Aaron Judge at a decent level. No one's going to be true protection for Judge. No one's ever going to make a manager say, damn, do I walk Aaron Judge and face Cody Bellinger or face Aaron Judge? The closest you got to that was Juan Soto. So no one's going to be true protection, but he has still done his job behind Aaron Judge, being able to drive in runs, being able to tap into a little bit of power. His bat to ball has looked better than years past. This is the Cody Bellinger Yankees fans were dreaming about. And if he can keep this up, this offense is going to maintain. There is nothing that this offense can't do at the moment. And that's in large part due to the consistency of Paul Goldschmidt and the resurgence of Cody Bellinger. I'm trying to not talk about Aaron Judge as much in this. He's been talked about so much. So I'm going to more of the underlying guys, the supporting cast, so to speak. Anthony Volpe is part of that. Even though, yes, in a lot of times you see he comes up in a lot of bases loaded situations, a lot of times with 2 outs, maybe doesn't come through most of the time. If you compare his F-WAR to any shortstop in Major League Baseball, he's top 10. And if you compare it to just the AL East, he is number 1. And this is an AL East with MLB The Show cover boy, MLB darling, Gunnar Henderson. Anthony Volpe has been a great player this year. A lot of that is thanks to defense, but he's still putting up a north of 750 OPS, and that's a really good clip. If Anthony Volpe can keep that up, along with guys like Jason Dominguez having a good rookie year, like I talked about, Cody Bellinger, Paul Goldschmidt, Jazz is coming back in about a week, this offense is going to be unreal. The only spot that I see the Yankees making a move is at third base, because with Oswaldo going down, that really hurt the depth because Oswaldo was the perfect bridge. He was playing at a decent level. He wasn't barreling anything, but he was still able to provide production. But now he's been out, and you're relying on a mixture of DJ LeMahieu, Jorbit Vivas, and Oswald Peraza. Every single one of them is providing little to nothing offensively. DJ has a little bit of leeway because he's just coming back from injury, and also he's gotten a little BABIP since he come back, but it's still not looking that great, if we're just being honest here. If you look around the league and you know Jazz can go anywhere in the infield, so he's probably going to bounce from second to third, depending on who they find. To me, I still don't see a lot out there for the Yankees to look at in terms of second or third base. Josh Young was brought up. Maybe that's an option coming from Texas. But again, Texas is still not out of it. I don't know if they're going to sell off. A team like Baltimore is not going to trade with the Yankees, at least most likely. If they do, they're probably going to ask for a premium. And I don't think the Yankees want to ask for a premium for a bridge year when possibly George Lombard, who's now in the high majors or high minor leagues, when he is pretty close. Of course, he's not producing at the highest level at AA to start off. He's still walked 16 times, struck out 17 times in about 60 plate appearances, 60 at-bats. To me, that looks really good. It shows me that Lombard at least is seeing the ball really well. He's just trying to get comfortable. If Lombard can start getting there, he'll probably be the third baseman next year, or at least be fighting for it. Do you really want to trade a prospect haul for someone who's going to block him when he is as touted as he is? I don't know. But overall, I think the Yankees stack up extremely well with the rest of the league. What do you guys think? Do you think the Yankees are the best team in Major League Baseball? Do you think that they are a bit behind some of the others like Detroit, like LA, etc.? Let me know down below. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys after this huge series against Los Angeles. It should be pretty fun. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.